let me take the weight loss drug or let me get cut, get the bypass, and then I'll start working out and because then the weight will
That's
be
right.
off and then I'll be able, but then they go, well, God, it was so easy for me to lose the weight just by going on it for 30 days. Why do I don't have time to work out, but I got time to pop a pill. Hey everyone, welcome to the final episode of the Big Fitness Show because whoever creates Ozempic will end up murdering myself and Big Mike Barons. It was nice knowing you. We are here to tell you right now that we are not suicidal. Our brakes on our cars seem to be fine. There will be no one-car accidents. We will not get shot in the back of our head 7 times with a staple gun. And we have nothing to do with the Clinton Foundation.
That's
well, I don't know about my co-host, Big Mike Barnes. How you doing, Mike?
I don't know if I can record this episode now after that.
It needs to be said because we are going to actually be talking about a pharmaceutical drug, and something seems to happen very bad to people that tell the truth about these things.
That's funny. Well, I'm okay. I'm very giggly right now because of that, because that was funny. It totally caught me off guard. I feel like you've been
stay away from people in trench coats and fedoras on a sunny day carrying an umbrella, because if you look at the old World War II stuff, the heart attack gun and the umbrella, we can't have that here.
Oh, that's great. That's great, man. No, I'll put this out there. I work from home, so I shouldn't have any work accidents or anything like that, So if something strange happens, this is what caused
people are like, why was Stevie making toast in his garage gym by the hot tub? Very strange.
Oh shoot. All right. Well, so I mean, I'm good, dude. Like, I'm excited to have this conversation because this is a topic that has come up. I've had people that talk to me about this. I know people that are currently taking this product, and we're going to talk about Ozempic. That's what the pharmaceutical drug called Ozempic. It's also called semaglutide. I think there's another one like Wegovy or something like that. That's called
something G1. There's a bunch of different
GLP-1. Yeah. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, and our thoughts on it. Some of the research, we're not going to dive too deep into the research and stuff, but just have a conversation around Ozempic, because I get a lot of questions. I know you probably get a lot of questions, and we just know people. And I think it's a pertinent conversation to have about using Ozempic and what it is and what it does and all that kind of stuff. So that's the topic of today's episode.
And even more importantly, we have interaction on this episode. We're going to be reading the comments, because I put up, should you take Ozempic for obesity, weight loss? I put that up the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It's still up. Still not demonetized. If I draw on a damn smart board with a headlock, that'll get copyright claimed and blocked. But Ozempic, I think we're on to something here. So
yeah, we might be okay. I did some research for the episode when I was watching, and there's some other videos out there, people talking about it, and they don't necessarily say the best. They don't give glowing reviews that are still up there. And I'm talking some big channels too that were talking about it. Your guy, the Athlete and X guy, has a good video out about Ozempic where he breaks it down and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was still there. I mean, I don't know if it's demonetized or anything, but it was definitely still up. So can't be too bad.
What I'm looking at too is the fact that, in my video, I put up a news article from Us Weekly or Us Magazine, and they were now talking about the people that regret taking it, the celebrities. But then a few months ago, which everybody seems to erase that part of their memory, they were touting it like unofficial ambassadors for this, and Oprah and everybody, and was covered obviously on the Today Show and Good Morning America. And, that's the problem right there, is we're so quick to, like I said in the video, take a pill, go under the knife, or in this case, take an injection to fix what's not the underlying problem, the real problem, where it's all up here in everybody's head. And in the video, I also said, I likened it to PED use, steroids, growth hormone. It's never the option I feel like you should take. But in a perfect world, somebody that absolutely hits a plateau for a period of time, a sticking point, then if you do it after that, okay, what are you going to be after you get off it? That's another question. But at least you're taking your body to its limit and then saying, okay, I might need a little bit of assistance to get, but not from the get go as a foundational strategy for your weight loss. That's what people I think are using this drug to do, rather than
Yeah.
saying, let me diet for a year, work out, and then maybe for a month I'll take it to jumpstart it. But no, these people are saying, I'll just be on it for the rest of my life. Big deal.
Well,
No
yeah,
big
and I
deal.
think I think that's the bigger conversation here as it relates to Ozempic. Like we're going to talk about Ozempic today specifically, but the bigger conversation around it is what you were just saying about jumping to a pill or a shot or something and having that quick fix because of the society as a whole of where we are. We just all want that quick fix. You know, it took us 10 years to get to the point where we weigh 350 pounds and can't lose the weight, can't move, can't get up out of off the couch and stuff. But we expect it to change in 10 days, you know, expect it to fix it all in 10 days. And so when drug companies make these drugs that are, yeah, we'll lose weight and you don't got to do nothing. You don't have to do any work at all and you're going to lose weight. It sounds great. It sounds awesome. And so I can see why people fall into that trap and get tricked by this because you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything to get to the point where you weigh 350 pounds, 400 pounds. But you did. It was your lack of doing things that got you there, right? But you didn't do anything to get there. So why would you have to do anything to change it? And so if you can just take this shot, it's a magical wonder drug and whatever. So that's the bigger conversation here. But for Ozempic specifically, for those of you who don't know, for those who have no idea what Ozempic is a drug that helps regulate insulin and helps produce more GLP-1 and all this kind of stuff, so your body can function a little bit better if you're having issues with insulin resistance and things like that. And so it basically my simple understanding, and I could be wrong, my simple understanding is that it's a amplifier of insulin production. And so it helps your body just regulate itself better. And insulin helps regulate blood sugar and all these kinds of things, process the carbs that you come so your body can get the energy and use it and whatever. Now, that's what the goal, the idea behind it was, and it originally started being used for patients, with type 2 diabetes to help kickstart the weight loss process. But it has very much so over the last year or so, become just this fancy new weight loss drug, and everybody wants to use it for weight loss. And so it started getting used off label as a weight loss drug, as opposed to just treating type 2 diabetics. And so people got excited. Well, shoot, I can just take this shot and lose a lot of weight and I'll be fine and it'll be great. And it just is starting to get into the point where the side effects that come into play. On your video, you talked about some of the side effects that are involved with taking
How can you get diarrhea and constipation at the same exact time?
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. So like it's just supposed to be this magical weight loss drug that is supposed to help you start to lose weight. And the problem and the good thing about it is that it works, like it does help you lose weight. But is it a healthy way to lose weight? Is it healthy for you in the long term? Is it a great thing to get started with? And I think that's my takeaway from what I learned about it and the research that I've done on Ozempic is it is a tool that you can use. But is it the first tool that you want to use? Is it the best tool that you want to lose or you want to use? I don't think so. And so having a conversation around what to do instead or why you should and shouldn't take it, I think is super important. But that gives you just a quick general understanding of what it is so that we can now continue this conversation about whether you should use it or not.
Do you think the people that are taking it have done anything to even look at the Ozempic website or done any of the research in your summary that you just put out over the past minute or two?
Well, yeah, probably not. I mean, and these are general assumptions. So I'm sure that this is a hot topic, and people, like, I've seen some of the comments on your video from your Stevie Richards Fitness channel. People are grateful that you made the video talking about it, but then some comments are like, I don't remember how many nasty comments you have, but there's a few comments on certain other videos that people are getting nasty about defending the Ozempic and I need this Ozempic and all this kind of stuff. And I'm not trying to attack anyone in anything we say. Neither one of us are trying to attack anyone specifically here about using Ozempic. The idea is do your research and figure it out. And I think that's another big problem that we have as it relates to pharmaceutical industry.
Well, we were told not to do your own research for a time.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
Yeah. Don't check it yourself. Don't worry about what you're putting in your body. It's just, it's insane to me that you don't look at that stuff first. And when the doctor says, oh, hey, I got this new drug, you're just like, okay, cool. Because you trust the doctor. And it's just frustrating to see how blindly people will jump on Ozempic. And I know a couple people in my life that are close to me that are taking Ozempic and are using it. And one's really close to me, and I've had a conversation with him about getting off of it and not taking it, but he had a lot of weight to lose, still does have a lot of weight to lose. And his doctors are saying, well, this isn't going to be a long-term thing. We're not going to use it indefinitely, but it's something that we need to do to help kickstart things. And he's one of those guys that you can't tell him anything. He knows everything about everything. Right. And so like, it's just one of those deals that it's frustrating to see immediately jump to this instead of a healthy diet and moving your body, like, that's where I get frustrated.
Well, that's the thing with, you really don't know what it's going to do to your body chemistry, your metabolism, your insulin afterwards. It's much like steroids, especially the natural testosterone production is completely shut down, if not for the most part, when you do the artificial testosterone or artificial PEDs. You need to actually take a shot or something, what I understand, afterwards to kick that back in. But as you get older and you get more resistant to everything, you don't know what's going to happen. So that's what's kept me away from TRT and other stuff. But with the Ozempic, like what are you looking at? Are you looking at that you're going to go right back to where you were, or maybe worse when you're done, because you don't have the discipline, the willpower, the organization to prep your food, or you don't have the staple foundations to have consistency. Boring consistency, as I said, your famous saying, produces amazing results. Amazing miracle drugs produce nothing but problems after you're done taking them.
Sure.
Is that a good t-shirt?
Yeah, that's a great t-shirt.
Yeah. Along with the gravestone and my epitaph for saying so.
Yeah, no, I think you're right with the long-term side effects. We have no idea what the long-term side effects are. And I don't want to say that Ozempic is a wholeheartedly 100% a no-go, because I think under the right circumstances, given the proper guidance, given the proper research, given the proper usage, there's some benefit to it, and so everything that I'm reading about type 2 diabetics and using it to kind of kickstart and help with the insulin sensitivity and all that kind of stuff, I think that there's a benefit there. But using it as a weight loss drug, I don't know that that's the right idea, right? But using it for a benefit to help with insulin sensitivity, okay, cool. Like, I get it. My wife's a type 1 diabetic, which is different a little bit than, or a lot of it than type 2. But type 2 diabetics a lot of time don't have, they are not sensitive to insulin. They have resistance when it comes
to. Is that the part that you don't need the shot? The type 2 and type 1, you need the shot, or?
So type 1 is basically your pancreas just doesn't produce the insulin. So you need to take a shot to survive. Like, literally. So
that's not reversible. That's not reversible in any way.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. And type 2 is reversible, in my opinion. And the research shows that it's reversible if you get a healthy diet, and you might push your pancreas to the point where so far that it can't be reversed because of the fact that it was just so bad for so long. But if you catch type 2 in the short term, you should be able to reverse it through lifestyle. But when you push, some people live with different issues, with the diabetes that comes up. It's just inflammation, not just inflammation, but there's so much that comes into play, and the insulin that your body doesn't produce. And the more that you can bring that down, the less need of insulin you have, it increases the sensitivity, because you're not overworking the system. And think about it like trying to drive your car 400 miles on a gallon of gas. You're going to overwork the engine to try to get it. If you're trying to I guess a better analogy would be the oil.
Yeah, because we talked about the car accident analogy earlier. Yeah.
but even so, like the oil in your car, like, everybody hears that you got to change oil every 3,000, every 5,000 miles. Well, you you should, but you could get it out. You could get more out of the oil. Let's say you go 10,000 miles, but type 2 diabetes is like driving your car and not changing the oil for 30 to 40,000 miles, because it just burns it so thin. And then it gets to the point where the engine doesn't run as efficiently, doesn't run as good. You're having to overwork the engine, and you're eventually going to burn it out. And your engine would be kind of like the pancreas in that scenario, where a type 2 diabetic, their pancreas just gives out because you haven't changed the oil in forever. And so when you're just feeding it with all of the stuff that you're feeding it with, it just totally shuts it down after a while. And so to use Ozempic in that setting, okay, if that's what you need to do to restart the insulin sensitivity, to help yourself kickstart correcting your type 2 diabetes, okay, fine. That's a fair use for it. But from what I'm reading about using it for weight loss, oh my gosh, it just sounds like it's stupid to do. It seems like it's a really stupid idea and a stupid approach. I mean, what did you find when you were digging into it a little bit?
Well, I didn't even have to dig into it because Vince Russo 2 months ago was diagnosed as being like right on that border. He's definitely pre-diabetic, but right on the border. He has diabetes in his family. It's genetic. And, he wasn't doing himself any favors. He wasn't working out. He wasn't eating right.
Sure.
He started intermittent fasting. He cut out all his sugar and he started lifting. He started going in, using the bands, using the machines at his complex gym. He's down 23 pounds in 2 months.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And he's 63.
Yeah.
So if a 63-year-old man I said, dude, you got to share that, because if there's ever a poster child for not having to take Ozempic, because you can say my metabolism's slow. 63 years old, I think his metabolism's pretty slow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't work out. He's never really worked out until now.
Sure.
I can't, all these can'ts and whatever, it's too hard. This dude's 63 years old. He's got a completely sedentary business, sitting in front of the computer, podcasting 5 to 6 days a week. Yeah. And he's lost 23 pounds. Imagine if he was active.
Yeah.
Walking around, working and on his feet. So that's what I mean. I dug into it here and there, but seeing Vince lose that weight, and this is before you and I even decided to do Ozempic. Mm-hmm. But he had talked about it. He's like, my doctor told me maybe we should get on this. And I'm like, no. Because he knew I would say, dude, try to do it yourself for 2 to 3 months, and then let's see where we're at. He doesn't need it. Doesn't need it. And I didn't see any nasty comments on the channel. But
yours didn't have any yet.
Well, here's the problem. This whole thing, and that we can address that and then go to the comments. We're now, like I called this the new toilet paper massacre, where everybody's fighting over Ozempic to the point where actual diabetics do not have access to the drug. As far as I know, I think they're building a factory for the demand.
Sure.
But this demand wasn't here until people said, well, this is the health hack or the body hack or the life hack, whatever bullshit you got out there to say this is biohacking. Right. I am going to tell these people you're full of shit. And diet to get rid of it. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, so here's people, I feel like sometimes people feel like, they're being attacked or whatever, because you're saying you just got to diet. And I don't want to pretend like I know any idea of how hard it is when you're 100 pounds overweight to get moving, because I have no experience with that. The most I've ever been is maybe 20 pounds overweight, maybe 30 if I'm getting real crazy. But like, I don't think I've ever really been grossly overweight for my body size. And so I don't know what it's like. I know how hard it is to try to lose 20 pounds and I try to lose 30, maybe I've never tried to lose 30 pounds, but I know how hard it is to lose 20 pounds. And I can see to where this Ozempic becomes an appealing idea, because you're like, I need the energy to get going. I need it to get started. And so in that circumstance, under the right guidance, if you're doing everything else, meaning cleaning up your nutrition, moving your body, starting to work out, and you want Ozempic to help accelerate that, you could make an argument for it. Do I think it's the right choice? No. I think you should just delay that gratification a little bit longer, do some deep inner work on yourself a little bit more. You'll be stronger for it. You'll be better for it. And don't use the Ozempic as a get out of jail free card or a crutch to lose the weight. Put some work in. You got, like I was saying earlier, you got yourself to this point over the course of however many years. Well, you got to put some work in to get yourself back out of it, and it'll be a much more rewarding thing. And I think from a personal growth perspective, not using the Ozempic would be awesome, because you can take so much pride in yourself knowing that, hey, I did this. I didn't use some weight loss drug. Yep. Like, you did this. And so now it's a confidence builder. I got a buddy, we've talked about him before on the show, Tim. He's lost 100 pounds because he has put in the work. He has been doing the work. He hasn't got on some fancy drug that's doing it. And he's like, I saw him this past Saturday. He looks like a new man. Like, he's still overweight. He's still got a lot of weight that he can lose. He's still a heavy guy, but just in his face, he looks like a completely different guy. And I've known him for 20 years and I've never seen him look the way that he looks now. But he's been doing the work, and he's been the one that has made the change. And so for that right there, that tells me that you can do it. Tim was over 400 pounds when he started, and he was a heavy guy. He still is. And so, but he's lost 100 pounds on his own accord. And if you can say that you can't do it, you can't get started, Tim did. And so you can, right? So you don't need to turn to this Ozempic drug to do that. Yeah. I don't know where I was going with it, but
well, let me just ask this question. It's mostly rhetorical.
Sure.
And then we can get to these comments. How many people do you know that have taken the easy way first?
Sure.
Listen, that have taken the easy way first, that have taken the hack version to get to the goal, or jump start, or whatever verbiage they want to use, and said, yeah, okay, now I'm done my 30 days of Ozempic. Time to do it the hard way, and I'm so dialed in now. Am I wrong?
Fair enough.
You set up bad habits, or you set up the good habits.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's not a tool then. It is the tool you're going to use, because it's the same. Like, once to kid Tim, 450 pounds. Let me take the weight loss drug, or let me get the bypass, and then I'll start working out. And because then the weight will be off, and then I'll be able. But then they go, well, God, it was so easy for me to lose the weight just by going on it for 30 days. Why do I don't have time to work out, but I got time to pop a pill once a day. And the danger of the appetite suppressant for somebody that is working out while taking it, you're doing a lot of damage, because now you're not getting your macros in, not getting the protein in. You're stuffed off of almost no food. It's a very dangerous. It's literally drug-induced starvation in a way.
Yeah,
I know it's a little bit extreme, but it suppresses your appetite artificially.
Well, and to that point, like, that was one of the things that through some of the research, and the Athlete X guy talked about this idea of becoming skinny fat. And so
that's
Ozempic,
what I am.
Well, but you're not, though, because you have muscle quality to you. And so what this Ozempic, the research is showing that the Ozempic is actually the weight you're losing. It works for weight loss, but the weight loss to muscle loss is way worse than it should be. Like, if you're going to lose 10 pounds of weight, a small percentage of that should be muscle, or will be muscle, because it's just part of it, right? Like, a small percentage of the weight loss, and when you're operating a calorie deficit, could be muscle. Doesn't have to be, but the Ozempic is about the same. Like, if you're losing 10 pounds of fat, you're losing 10 pounds of muscle too, which is not good for you at all, because you need the muscle density, you need the muscle quality to be healthier. And creating more muscle on your frame is like a fitness hack, because the more muscle you have, the faster your metabolism is, the more you can buffer against things. And so the better lean muscle density you have, the healthier you're going to be, the stronger you're going to be, the more muscle quality, the stronger your muscles are, the healthier you're going to be later in life. And so this Ozempic works the other way. It works, it takes your muscle away. There was one study that came up, and I think the Athlete Next guy talked about it, and it wasn't a study. It was a case where a woman had rhabdomyolysis, which is basically the breakdown of the muscles. The muscles are breaking down too fast. That is heavily a thing in the CrossFit world because of overtraining and too much training and too much intense training. This woman got it from taking Ozempic and didn't work out at all. Was having she got rhabdo from what it appears to be the Ozempic, because she was on it. They took it off. The condition went away. They put it back in her routine, and the condition came back. And so losing that much muscle quality and that much muscle density that fast is not a good thing. And so for that reason alone, Ozempic should not be used as a weight loss drug.
Is that the Ozempic face? I've seen some pictures of that, and it's pretty, because you're losing it's like sunken in, like Crypt Keeper type look. So you might be losing muscles in your face. So
gross.
Hey, this sounds like an awesome drug. I mean, I don't know people fighting over it. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go to the comments from my YouTube video before I get myself and you in any more trouble.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Cat's out of the bag now. We're gonna get in trouble. I don't think we'll get in trouble. I think the big takeaway here is that no matter what thing or drug you're going to try to do or try to test, you need to do your research on it and make sure that you're aware of all the potential side effects, all the issues that could come with taking a drug like this.
All right, let's start. I put the disclaimer up top, by the way, because obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not doctors. This
is
not medical advice.
Do you want to read the first one?
From Steve
Rhino? Yeah, we'll go top to bottom.
All right. I hear you on aging. I'm 60. So many ways to lose and maintain weight that these things aren't usually warranted unless a reliable and knowledgeable doctor and you agree and you really need it. Eating healthier with occasional treats and a good reasonable fitness routine is always the first course of action, in my humble opinion. This was a great video to get one thinking. Motivation dies out. Dedication is the thing that sticks around. Keep up the good work, brother. Yeah. Cool. I mean, Steve Rhino always gives us good comments and good feedback on stuff that we do here. So we appreciate you, Steve. But yeah, you're right, man. Like even at 60 years old, eating healthy is the first course of action.
Yeah. We have Tully DT. He's also Nixus on the patreon.com/Stevie Richards. So he supports the fitness and the wrestling stuff. So stress and negative emotions often encourage negative reactions like comfort eating. It is important to remember that we can't always control the things that cause our stress and negative emotions. We know that. Yeah. But we can control how we react to them. If you slip up on your diet and don't get the weight loss result you wanted, you can choose to give up or choose to keep going. So like I said before, whether you think you can or can't, you'll always be right. But I mean, we understand circumstances. We understand stress. I think we understand stress more than most people realize. And, cortisol levels within your body chemistry from stress, no drug, no workout, no diet is going to help you or maximize the result until you get those things figured out.
Right.
And that's the hardest part. Rest and recovery are the number one things to growing, whether you want to lose weight, gain muscle, both, be more functionally fit, be more, have more stamina. If you're stressed, those cortisol levels are going to take every gain away. Do you agree with that, Mike?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the next comment, and I don't know we need to read all the rest of them because all the rest of them are just kind of reaffirming things. But the next comment is
Let's read this last one. That'll be it because I think this one sums it up best out of anything.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I mean, the comment from Lich Azazel, I don't know how you say that, but said, glad I made this video. The craze is really a big problem. And she has I don't know if that's a she or not. I guess I'm judging by the picture. The story is my uncle, who will be 60 next year, has been taking Ozempics for a few months. He used to be 300 pounds. He would eat pizza, Chinese takeout, and all the junk every single day for lunch, as well as what he would have for breakfast, a huge dinner, constant late night snacking, drink at least a liter of Pepsi, not the sugar-free, and it would at least have a chocolate bar every single day. Wow. All
that every single day. That's every day. Wow.
Wow. And he would lie not to just me, but his doctor, but also himself, saying I hardly eat, but my body just gets bigger. He doesn't exercise at all. I don't think he has in the last 20 years. I've tried talking to him about starting keto or carnivore. Wouldn't even listen to say those diet will, and wouldn't even listen and say that those diets will kill you. Love it. Somehow he only had pre-diabetes, so he technically didn't need Ozempic, but got it for weight loss. He now weighs 220 pounds, but still maintains his terrible eating habits and doesn't exercise. However, I can tell that much of the weight that he had lost isn't just fat, because when I look at his legs, they are insanely skinny, which indicates that he has lost a lot of his muscle mass. And unfortunately for him, his face has aged about 10 years. I think if he keeps this up, he will soon look like a zombie. Apparently Ozempic face is a thing, and he is suffering from it. Wow. Though most annoying thing about this is that since he feels he's so thin now, he tries to talk as if he's a guru on health and weight loss.
Wow. Okay.
And tries to tell me that I need to watch what I eat.
He's going to be a P90X Beachbody coach soon. You go through it once, and now they tell you're a coach.
Oh,
thank you, by the way. Before we finish, thank you so much for sharing this in so much detail, to everybody that commented, because this echoes pretty much all the comments I have on this video. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I don't know that we need to read the rest of it. I mean, it basically just says that it's terrible and you should be avoided. And if you want to read the whole comment, go in there and read it. But it's basically him. I don't know if he plans on taking a shot for the rest of his life, because he hasn't done anything to fix himself, and will definitely gain the weight back if he ever stops taking it.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead, man. I was just going to say
they do make a great point, because I mentioned keto and carnivore in this, and I was like saying, I don't know if those are long-term things. I've done keto, I've done carnivore. Keto kind of messed my blood up a little bit. Carnivore is extremely restrictive. If you're eating all the variety is not the spice of life with carnivore. But this is right here. If you think about keto, the marketing of these products, and you know about supplements, Mike, here, I'm confident those who said they were keto and it didn't help were either lying, or they were eating the keto snacks that have 3 grams of net carbs, which ends up being 30 grams because of the servings of total carbs. So I'm just saying that's something to think about right there. So excellent. Thank you so much, everyone, for commenting. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Here, I lost my voice.
No. Yeah, I mean, I think it just speaks to that there's a lot of lack of knowledge out there around these types of drugs and things that can be doing, and what happens to your body. But I think more stories like that will come out as people who use it for weight loss. And the thing for me that really just kind of sums up this whole conversation around Ozempic is it really helping, or is it hurting more than it's helping? And this last comment that we just read, I mean, he thinks he's a weight loss guru now because he's lost a lot of weight, but he just taken a shot. You didn't learn any of the skills that you need to lose weight. You didn't learn any of the nutrition habits. You didn't learn any of the healthy habits to make yourself better, to make your life better, to make your choices better, so that now you're on this drug forever. And now what are the long-term effects of that? Does it shorten your life? Does it do anything? Does it create other issues? You know, there's so much to be said around not going to that quick fix. And Ozempic is just the latest in all of the quick fixes that are out there. You know, at the end of the day, if you want to lose weight, if you want to take control of your health, start eating better, fix your nutrition, start working out, start moving your body, and focus on your mental health, focus on those things, and that will make all the change that you need.
I just got word that this guy actually has 100,000 subscribers on his fitness channel, and he's selling programs too. He's netted about $60,000 this year so far in sales. So
what do we know?
What do we know? What do we know? We don't, by the way, with all our decades of experience between both of us, and life experience and training and certifications and everything, all the mistakes we made, especially, we still don't claim to be gurus or experts or anything. We are learning as we go along. Like I said last week about vision, we don't have a clue what we're doing half the time. So that's what everybody leaves out. What's that?
That episode hit me hard. When we got done, I was just like, man, I talked about vision for 30, 45 minutes. What's mine? So I've spent the last week just like, what is my vision? So I get it. If you haven't listened to last week's episode, go back and check it out. But yeah, I mean, we're not
if you got in early, like Samantha Greenberg, I think this person emailed me. I got a bonus sleep episode before that too.
Whoops, my bad.
In case you didn't watch that I have done that 3 or 4 times. I didn't tell you when I was uploading them.
Maybe I should get some more sleep, and then that would solve that.
You should watch the sleep. Well, you could watch our episode on sleep. It'll probably put you to sleep. So that's always good. Especially when I talk.
Well, speaking of that, putting people to sleep before we put anybody else to sleep right now, let's wrap this up. I think that's just, do you have any final thoughts on the whole Ozempic conversation?
We just don't want anybody to make any kind of long-term, like what they feel like will be a short-term decision with long-term ramifications. You just saw that comment. Yeah. The only long-term ramifications of trying to diet, train properly, and get proper rest and recovery is progress over time.
Yep. That's
the side effect.
Yep.
Nothing else.
Very true.
What would you rather have? The definite side effect of what I just said, or some of the known ones, but some of the more unknown ones? Think about it. Think about how many lawsuits pharmaceutical companies have taken on because they can afford to pay out $500 million because they made $10 billion. So it's an M, it's a profit margin or gain loss type of thing. Like that's a good business decision, but it's not a good ethical decision. So, and you'll get whatever, but what will you lose? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Maybe you'll get 10 grand from the pharmaceutical company, but you're in such a medical condition that can't be reversed.
Right.
And it costs you money in treatment or whatever. I'm just saying, why take the chance when you can get a 100% result out of what you put into it in the old-fashioned way? Yeah. Not sexy, not exciting, but what do you say, Mike?
Boring consistency brings exciting results.
Mm-hmm.
Amen to that.
I mean, exciting drugs can bring boring funerals. Who knows? So how's that?
All right. I love it.
There's a t-shirt.
That's a t-shirt. It's a whole marketing campaign and everything. So, and I think that's also a great way to end the episode. So everybody, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of the Big Fitness Show. We appreciate you. If you got some value from this, share it with somebody that might get some value from it as well. If you know somebody taking Ozempic, share this with them and let them know some of the downsides of what Ozempic is all about, and help encourage people to not go for the quick fix, but actually put in the work and have a much more long-lasting, sustainable change. So for myself, for Big Stevie Cool, the Draw, we appreciate you tuning in to this week's episode, and we will see you in the next episode. Thanks.
Ozempic. You like my singing voice?